Have you ever dreamed of owning a town? Imagine it. Your own main street, your own post office, the power to shape a community from the ground up. And it sounds like a fantasy, like a movie or Wild West history. But what if I told you this isn't just a dream? What if a group living almost entirely apart from secular society could quietly buy an entire town piece by piece? Now, this is a story set on the quiet, expansive prairies of Canada, and the question isn't just if it can happen, but what it means. This was possible in a tiny dot on the map in rural Manitoba, and it sparked whispers, curiosity, and controversy, and it forced us to ask what a community really is. Is it the collection of buildings, the streets, the land, or is it the people, their shared history, their intertwined lives, their common culture? When one group with a very different way of life buys out the old guard, what is lost and what is gained? This isn't just real estate, it's a story about identity and belonging and the fabric of society in a country built on multiculturalism. What happens when two very different worlds collide on the Canadian prairies? To understand how a community could buy a town, you first need to understand the people at the center of it all. The Hutterites. They are not just a religious group, they are a living, breathing example of a communal society that has survived for 500 years. Originating in the 16th century Reformation in Europe, the Hutterites believe in a strict literal interpretation of the Bible. A core tenet of their faith is the community of goods, which means that everything is owned by the colony as a whole. No personal bank account, no one has a private car, often small stipends or salary. They live together, they work together, they worship together, sharing all resources for the good of the collective. A Hutterite colony is a self-sufficient world unto itself, typically numbering around 100 to 150 people. Each colony functions like a large extended family business. They are masters of modern agriculture, operating massive, technologically advanced farms that are among the most productive in the world. The profits from these large-scale operations don't go to individuals. They are pooled back into the colony's central treasury. This collective wealth is used to feed everyone. It is used to clothe everyone. It is used to house everyone. It funds education in their own schools, and crucially, it funds expansion. Their entire social and economic structure is designed for growth and self-preservation. When colonies reach a certain population size, they are designed to split. A new daughter colony is established elsewhere. Sometimes, instead of starting from scratch, it may be simply easier and more efficient to buy something that already exists, like a town. The quiet town of Mather, Manitoba became the unlikely stage for this remarkable story. Like many small prairie towns, Mather was facing a slow decline. Its population had dwindled to just a few dozen residents. The school had long been closed. Mather has become known for its historical sites, such as the Grove, the Rock, and Memorial Wall. For the remaining residents, there is a palpable sense of an era coming to an end. Enter the Decker Colony, a Hutterite community located nearby. The Hutterites saw in Mather not a dying town, but an incredible opportunity. Their own colony was growing and they needed to expand. Building a new colony from the ground up is expensive and time-consuming. They need homes, a kitchen, a school, workshops. Mather, however, already had much of this infrastructure, so they started talking. It wouldn't happen overnight. Instead, it would a gradual process. They could make a fair market offer to a family that owned a significant number of properties, including several houses. Would this really work? Maybe one by one they approach other homeowners. For some of the elderly residents of Mather, these offers could be a blessing. In a short span, the Decker colony could purchase nearly 24 properties, effectively becoming the majority landowner. The result would be a town transformed. Mather would no longer be the sleepy, fading town it once was. Legally speaking, what the Decker colony was thinking of in Mather is perfectly permissible in Canada. There is no law that prevents any individual, corporation, or group from purchasing property. Canada's legal framework is built on principles of private property rights and a free market. From the Hutterite perspective, their motivation was practical and rooted in belief. They were not seeking to displace anyone maliciously. They were securing a future for their growing community. Their faith commands them to be fruitful and multiply. Their communal structure requires expansion to avoid overcrowding and maintain harmony. The feelings of the non-Hutterite locals, however, were much more mixed. On one hand, there was a sense of relief and pragmatism. Some of the residents may be grateful. They see the Hutterites as hardworking neighbors, breathing life back into a near ghost town. They would appreciate lights on in empty houses and infrastructure being maintained rather than left to decay. On the other hand, there were those who wouldn't move. For those who wouldn't sell, they consider Mathers their home. The culture of the town is their culture. The local coffee shop chatter, the shared memories, the common cultural touchstones, all of that cannot fade away. While the Hutterites are peaceful and keep to themselves, their self-contained world would mean less social integration. The old sense of a connected secular community would be gone, replaced by a town that now functioned as a private religious enclave. It raises a difficult question. What is the true cost of survival when a town's soul is fundamentally altered? Please share your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.